Hello, and welcome to Concert for Power, Starve for Power 2030 or Bust Hunger Strike Day 37. That's right. Now I'm feeling great. Just so everybody's clear, I am feeling great. And I have had a wonderful additive to my hunger strike here, which is some wonderful, I can't say delicious, but wonderful avocado oil and coconut oil and safflower oil combination. Fantastic. Okay. And what that does for those of you that have interest in the kind of medical, biological realm of this deal here that we're in the midst of is that it adds some wonderful fat to my diet. Okay. Which is keeps me feeling great as well and stops any dryness of skin and that kind of thing and horrors of horrors, any premature aging, because we're going to draw the line, baby. We're going to come out of this hunger strike feeling better and looking better than before we went in. That's what we're going to be doing. So enough about me. What do you think about me? Just kidding. So I want to bring this up because it has come up. All right. And so I want to address it. We're not saying we have the answer to ending the climate crisis, okay? We're not saying that at all. So anybody out there that thinks we're presumptuous enough or arrogant enough or stupid enough, we could also add, to say, hey, 2030 or bust has the answer, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. In fact, 2030 or bust doesn't work in that model. We don't work in the model of here's a problem and here's the solution. It's kind of the problem solution model. We don't work in that model. Empowerment doesn't work in that model. So here's our model. Our model is a model of unleashing. If you could look at it that way, it's not the problem solution model. Here's the problem. Here's how we're going to solve it. We're not solving the climate crisis by the solution of empowerment. We're addressing the situation of the climate crisis and looking at what we see is a critical missing component that isn't being provided anywhere else. And all of the other components are essential. The component of sucking the carbon out of the atmosphere that's already there is essential. Lots and lots and lots of, people are working on solving the problem. And by good gosh, that should be happening. What we see as a critical missing element in the whole arena of the climate crisis and what's being addressed and how it's being addressed and who's addressing it is empowerment. And what happens in the world of empowerment is that you don't address it from the problem and how we're going to solve it. You address it from the power of the individual that, when unleashed, allows for things you could never even have thought of on this side of the empowerment. So in the unleashing of the power of the individual, opportunities, strategies, plans, actions will get unleashed with the unleashing of the power of the individual that will now be available to address the climate crisis that were never there before. So our work is much more in the realm of unleashing the power of the individual and what that then makes available in the addressing of the crisis, rather than here's the problem and here's how we're going to fix it. So they're two different models, and we have a great respect for the model of here's the problem and how are we going to fix it. But that's part of what has, it's interesting to us, okay, is that model, in fact, is part of what limits the power of the individual. When you're locked in the model of here's the problem and how are we going to solve it, that's part of what keeps the individual without having real power. So it's not only, so it's kind of it's clearly it's in the exposing of that model as the model that we currently work in. When you can start to see that that's the model I'm working in, then something becomes available for me as an individual outside that model. So I know it gets kind of technical and kind of abstract, and but too bad. That's us. All right. And can't, that's what we bring to the party. So yeah, yeah. We're not here to solve the problem. We're here to unleash power. It's a different gig. It's a different gig. And ending the climate crisis is right there. Oh, no, I guess it's time to go because somebody just called me. All right, well, that's it. 2030 or bust, unleashing the power of the individual, and donate. All right, we're up to $45,000, which is awesome. Okay, we had a $5,000 investment come in yesterday. Thank you very much. Just awesome, awesome, awesome. And $45,000, man, we are cooking. That is really extraordinary. Since we started this hunger strike, that's amazing. So thank you, everybody who's invested. If you haven't invested, let's go. What are you waiting for? Go to 2030orbust.org, click that donate button, and get in the game. Get in the game of empowering individuals for what cannot be imagined from where we currently are. All right, that's it. Goodbye.